Today I want to show you the Revelation 8:11 coding for the Donald Trump presidential election. I'm also going to show you some rituals to the Great American Eclipse that was on August 21st, 2017, and how that relates to the Trump Tower in Chicago. I'm also going to be talking about the planet Venus, and that's also connected to the Trump Tower in Chicago. And the reason I'm looking at Venus is because in Revelation, the word star is referenced 13 times in Revelation, and the 13th time it is referenced as the morning star. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. A very significant verse of Revelation, giving us a clue that we need to look at Venus. I'm also going to be talking about Sirius, the dog star Sirius, and how it relates to 8:11. On the date of August 11th, the helical rise of Sirius is between the 40th and 41st degree latitude north. And the importance of that is that the helical rise of Sirius began the Egyptian year in ancient Egypt. And in modern times, you can look at a chart here for the helical rise of Sirius and the dates. But you can see here on August 11th, between 40 and 41 is our helical rise of Sirius. And I'll show you how that connects to the Trump towers as well. And if you're not familiar with my channel, I show the number coding from the book of Revelation, specifically the Wormwood star from Revelation 8:11. And the book of Revelation is, the chapters and verses have been number coded in the language of mathematics, time, frequency, astronomical alignments, gematria. It's a very precisely put together book of the Bible. No coincidence that all these numbers show up over and over again. So if we look at the 2016 United States presidential election, that was November 8th, 2016. To the rest of the world, November 8th would be written as 8:11 for our reference to the Wormwood star. In Jewish gematria, Donald Trump has a value of 589, and the prime factorization of 589 is 19 times 31, the 8th and 11th prime numbers for another 8:11. And to find another 8:11 kind of hidden here, we need to look at the modified Julian date. This was introduced by the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory in 1957 to record the orbit of Sputnik. And Sputnik was supposedly the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth, and it just happened to orbit the Earth 1,440 times, which is a reference to minutes in the day. There are 1,440 minutes in the day. But day one on the modified Julian calendar date, which is a sequential calendar, was November 17th, 1858. So if we look at that in reference to November 8th, 2016, the modified Julian day was 57,700. And without the zeros, we have 577, a number I've shown many times before. In base 10, 8:11, and base 12, we have 577, so there's a 8:11 and 577 relationship between base 10 and base 12 here. And I believe that's significant because the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, used the duodecimal or base 12 system. Egyptian finger counting used the 12 knuckles of the fingers, and they used their thumb as a placeholder when counting. and they divided the night into 12 sections using the Decan star groups. And generally the Egyptians were regarded as experts in astronomy. But this is why I show the base 12 and base 10 relationship, because it goes back to ancient Egypt and the number system they used. And I'm going to show you more base 10, base 12 relationships and how that connects to the Trump Towers and different dates as well. So if we look here at the Great American Eclipse that was on August 21st, 2017, this was lunation number 1171. And I want to show you how to calculate the millennium lunation and to calculate what lunation this was from the start of the new millennium. You simply subtract 953 from the brown lunation number, which is listed here. And the August 21st eclipse was lunation 218 of the millennium. And what's interesting about that is that most of the world would have written this date as 21/8, another 218. And in Hebrew gematria, moon has a value of 218. Kind of a trifecta of 218s there for that Great American Eclipse. So I want to take a look at Donald Trump's 117th week and first day, another 1171. His 117th week and first day as president will be April 19th, 2019. And this just happens to fall on 8/11 on the Coptic calendar. And the Coptic calendar is the modern Egyptian calendar. No coincidence there. It's also interesting that the Coptic calendar also begins its year on 9/11. So if we look at the Trump Tower in Chicago, there's another 1171. The height of the roof of the Trump Tower in Chicago is 1171 feet. And the spire, the very architectural top or tip of the tower, is 1388 feet. And this is a reference to the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is 138.8 meters. But the number I'm really want to show you guys today is this 1116. The top floor is listed as 1116 feet. The top floor of the Trump Tower in Chicago. And on 11/16/2018, this was Donald Trump's 666th day as president. And also on that day, where we start connecting this to Venus, is on that day Venus came out of retrograde motion and returned to its standard motion in the sky from our perspective. And real quick, I'll show you what that looks like. On 11/16, it returned back to its standard motion from our perspective here. But what else I want to show you here about this 11/16 date, which was the Donald Trump's 666th day. I'm going to add 404 days to this date for the 404 total verses in Revelation. And that gets us to December 25th, 2019. And that's kind of what the rest of my video is about here. I want to take a look at the Trump World Tower, which is in New York at 845 United Nations Plaza. This tower has a total height of 861 feet. And if we go from 9/11/2001 to 12/25/2019, this is 6,679 days. And 6679 is the 861st prime. And what's also significant is that 1225, look at 1225, in our base 10, base 12 relationship, 1225 is 861 in base 12. So of course 12/25/2019 is Christmas, and that can also be abbreviated as Xmas. So I want to take a look at the April 8th, 2024 solar eclipse that completes the X over the United States. April 8th, 2024 is the 1567th day after Christmas 2019, and 1567 is the 247th prime number. And on 12/25/2019, this is lunation. 12/25/2019, or Christmas, is a new moon, and it's lunation 1200. So we take 1200, subtract our 953 to find the millennium lunation, and it is the 247th lunation of the millennium. And another reference to the X eclipse here is that this eclipse is lunation 1253, which would be the 300th millennium lunation, and the cost of the Trump World Tower was listed as $300 million. So if we look at the first United States Christmas, in reference to the first United States election, that was December 15th, 1788, there was a total of 29,960 days between the first election and the first United States Christmas. And without the zero, we have the 2996, and that's the total victims that were on 9/11. And the first election was in 1788, and Christmas 2019 is the 1788th month anniversary of the first U.S. Christmas. Kind of interesting there. I'm going to take a look at Venus here real quick, but let me show you something. JFK's only surviving child is Carolyn Kennedy. And I'll show you how she's connected to Venus here in a couple ways. But this story came out on April 29th, 2009, and it is President Obama hiding behind the JFK desk with Caroline Kennedy. And it says, to mark the president's first 100 days, the White House released 292 photos, including the one at the left of Obama searching for the door in his desk that John F. Kennedy Jr. famously peeked through. So I'm going to show you what this 292 is referencing here and how it connects to Caroline Kennedy. Caroline Kennedy was born on November 27th, 1957, and Venus was in the 292nd degree ecliptic longitude. So that's why they have this picture of her and this number 292 here. And it's also significant that she is with Obama because she was the ambassador to Japan in the Obama administration, and of course Japan is the land of the rising sun. But Venus represents the sacred feminine, and it's also interesting that the magic square of Venus sums to 1225, and on 12/25/2019, Caroline Kennedy will be exactly 62 years and 29 days old on that date, and 6229 is the 811th prime number, which connects it to Revelation 811, the Wormwood star. Also interesting is that JFK, when he was assassinated, he was riding in a Lincoln Continental X100, and the license plate was GG300. And as I just showed you here, Millennium Lunation 300 is the solar eclipse that completes the X over the United States, over Illinois. And I'm going to do a part 2 video about Obama. But what's interesting about Trump and Obama is that on the day JFK was assassinated, 11/22/1963, Donald Trump exactly began his 911th week on this day, and Barack Obama was 2 years, 3 months, and 19 days old on November 22nd, 1963. And my next video is a preview of Revelation 19:19, and I'm going to show you this number 2319 several times. It's a very important number, and if you remember that the Roswell UFO site is exactly 1,776 kilometers to the Trump Tower in Chicago. Now where I'm going to be going with my next video, it's a preview of Revelation 19:19. And then I'm going to do the part 2 video showing all the connections to Obama and different monuments and buildings as well. So I'll have that slide style video of 2319 up in a few days, and then I'll finish up the Obama part of the video and how he is connected to Trump, and also he's connected to different monuments and dates as well. But this 2319, very important. Okay, I think I got everything there. Okay guys, thanks for watching.